Hey guys, welcome back to another video from Quick Freeze's Game Room. Today I'm going to be doing a video on two things. The first thing is going to be my November 2011 pickups, and the second thing is going to be kind of like my rant response results video. If you guys seen my nearly mint rant video a few weeks ago, I kind of got a response from the seller, so I'm going to throw that in right at the very end of this episode so you guys can see kind of like what happened with that whole fiasco. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to show you my pickups first, and then I'll get into the whole rant results thing later. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, the first game I got here is a DS game, and this is the Game & Watch collection for the Nintendo DS.
Now, I've wanted this game for the longest time. This is the Game & Watch collection for the DS that you can only get on the Club Nintendo website for 800 coins. Now, what this is a collection of 3 Game & Watch games, Oil Panic, Greenhouse, and Donkey Kong. And I'll tell you right now, the reason I kind of wanted this one is because of the Donkey Kong game. And that's the only one I kind of like played, a lot of. I've tried the other two out, they're okay. But basically, there's not really much to say about these games. They're simple. I don't even know how many bits they are. I would say like 2 bits or something. But, it's just 3 good old Game & Watch games that you can get in one cartridge. So I do recommend this. I played a lot of Donkey Kong, like I've already mentioned. So if you guys have the 800 points and you're willing to use the 800 points on the Club Nintendo website, I do recommend this game. They do have another collection out, so when I save up another 800 coins, I will get the Game & Watch collection too. But yeah, I highly recommend this game. It's cool just to try out the old classic, again, I don't know, like 2-bit games. So yeah, highly recommend this one.
Okay, my next game is a 3DS game, and I'm quite excited that I got this game. It's a very cool game. I got Super Mario 3D Land for the 3DS.
I picked up Super Mario 3D Land, and I will say this is a must-have for any 3DS owner. The 3D in this game is really amazing. There's actually 2 different modes of 3D, which is kind of new for the system. And this game has a lot of different features that you would find in other Super Mario games, such as the Tanuki suit from Super Mario Bros. 3, elements from Super Mario Galaxy. It has the flagpole from Super Mario Bros. 1, so there's a lot of Super Mario Bros. History in this game. Now, this game is short and easy, and I kind of think that's the game's downfall, where I've heard a lot of people picked up this game day 1, and they were able to beat it within the same day. But I chose to play this game in 15 to 20 minute intervals, so it would last me a long time. So you can actually just beat this game within a few hours. Do I recommend this game? Yeah, I do, because like I said, this is an amazing game. So I highly recommend this game, but I do not recommend you just play this game straight through. I recommend you guys take your time with this game because it really is an amazing game. And once you beat the main story of this game, it opens up a second, it opens up a second kind of world, like a secret world, so it actually doubles in length. So
alright, the next game I got here is I got this from fairly cheap from Gamefly, and this is the Lost in Shadow for the Nintendo Wii.
Now, this is a game I've been interested for quite a while now. This is Lost in Shadow for the Nintendo Wii, and I recently just picked this up from Gamefly. I paid about $7 for this game, so it wasn't that bad. Now, what this is, I would kind of categorize this as kind of like a platform puzzle game. And what it is you play as a shadow that has been separated from your body, and you're trying to complete each level, getting back to your body. And how this game works is, obviously, like I said, you play as your shadow, and you have to manipulate the world around you by affecting things by their shadow. So, like, if you want to, like, pull a lever or, like, attack something, you basically have to do it by attacking their shadow or pulling the lever of that shadow. So it's a very unique puzzle game, and I've only played about a little bit of it, so I don't know that much about this game, but graphically it looks really good, and I do recommend it. If you guys can find it really cheap in the wild. Like I said, I try GameFly, because like I said, I picked this up for about $7, so they might have that deal again, I don't know, but I do recommend this game just because it's a beautiful game, and if you really are into puzzle games, it's a must play.
Okay, the next game I got here is for the PS3, and I've been wanting to get this one for the longest time, and with Black Friday just come and gone, I picked this up for free. And this is Uncharted Drake's Fortune.
One of the first games I ever wanted to pick up for the PS3 was the first Uncharted game, and I recently just picked this up with the Black Friday deal from GameStop, where it was buy two get the third free, and this just happened to be the third game. Now, I don't know much about this game, I didn't really play that much of it yet, but from what I can tell, you obviously play as this character called Nathan Drake on kind of like this, I would say, like Indiana Jones adventure. And what I've heard from a lot of people, that this game is like basically like watching a movie. You get lost in this game, you get involved with these characters, you care about these characters, and you just want to like sit back and get enthralled into the story. Now, I know when Uncharted 2 came out, there was a huge leap between Uncharted 1 and 2, so I can't wait to play this game and then follow it up with Uncharted 2 and then for Uncharted 3. So I'm really excited to get into this game. I'll probably wait a little while to get into it fully.
Okay, that's all the Nintendo Wii and PS3 stuff I got. So what the next system is for the Xbox, and I got Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2.
Now, if you played the first Force Unleashed game, you kind of know what you're getting into with Star Wars Force Unleashed 2 for the Xbox 360. But if you may or may not know, this is the second story of Starkiller, the secret apprentice of Darth Vader. Now, this game is beautiful. I can tell you that from the visuals alone. And I'll tell you right now, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. So when I saw this for $10 on GameFly, I picked this up with Lost of Shadows. It was a must-buy for me. So I'm really excited to play this game. I haven't played that much of it, but I'm really excited to know the rest of the story. What I've heard, this game is a lot shorter than the first game, but I'm a huge Star Wars fan, like I already mentioned, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get the most enjoyment out of it, just because it's Star Wars.
Alright, the next game I got up, I've been kind of hearing quite a few things about this game, and I was quite interested once I heard about it. This is King of Fighters 13.
One of my favorite video game genres is fighting games. I'm huge into fighters like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Marvel vs. Capcom, Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, Smash Brothers, you name it. So when I heard King of Fighters 13 was coming out, I was really interested. And what kind of like intrigued me to get this game, it came with a 4-disc soundtrack, and I'm kind of interested in soundtracks lately, so that kind of added to me purchasing this game. Now, as you can see, this is a 2D, kind of like an anime style fighting game, and this is not for, casual fighting game players. This is a very in-depth fighting game where you have to be very precise with your button inputs. Like, you can't just button mash in this game like you can with maybe Smash Brothers or Tatsunoko vs. Capcom or even Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Now, I haven't played much of this game. I've only tried the arcade mode for about an hour, and so far my favorite character is Athena. She's kind of like this musical pop star from what I can tell, but I know other characters in this game that I haven't really tried yet, like Mai or Terry Bogard, so I might try those guys out. But like I said, this is a very in-depth fighter. I did hear that the online for this game is still kind of like a little shaky, a little kind of troublesome, but you know, hopefully I can get online, maybe fight a couple noobs and, you know, try out this game really in depth. I'm really excited to play more about this game.
Okay, the next game I got here is from Capcom. Yes, I know Capcom. A lot of people are mad about them, including myself. So I got this game used because I refused to buy it brand new, and this is Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
If you guys played Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Fate of Two Worlds, you know exactly what you're getting into with Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It's the same story, same gameplay, with the same characters, but with more added features, like 12 new characters, 8 new stages, and the online is fixed a lot. Now this game also brings kind of some bad features in this game. Like I said, you get 12 new characters, but you do not get the 2 characters that were in the other version of the game. You do not get Jill or Shimmer Garth. You still have to pay for those characters, which I kind of think is a little disappointing since this game is all about adding new characters to the game. Now, like I said, the online is fixed a lot. Before you could only watch the battle cards of players battling, but this one it adds a spectator mode, so that's a huge plus. Now, I'm a huge fighting game fan. My team right now is Iron Man, Hulk, and Ryu. I picked those guys because they kind of fight the same way, so it's kind of like easy for me to, you know, learn those 3 characters and have a good time playing this game.
Okay, the next game I got here is a game from one of my favorite first-person shooter franchises, and this is Halo Combat Evolved, the Anniversary Edition.
Okay, let me start off saying I'm a huge Halo fan. Out of all the first-person shooter games out there, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Halo is my absolute favorite. I don't know if it's like the whole sci-fi thing, but I absolutely love it. So when Halo Combat Evolved, the Anniversary came out, it was a must-buy for me. Now, I must say, like, the new updated graphics, I prefer playing on them more than the original Xbox graphics, but if you like the original Xbox graphics, you can switch back by hitting the back button, so that's kind of cool. It like fades to black, but you can still hear what's going on, like all the gunfire and stuff like that, and then it'll switch graphics depending on what you were previously. Now, I don't know if this happens if you buy the game new, but when I bought the game, it actually came with map packs for Halo Reach. So, like, that's a huge thing, because, like, I love Halo Reach. You know, like I said, I like the whole Halo franchise, but, like, the fact that you get the classic maps from Halo 1 and 2 for Halo Reach, it's really, like, fan service, you know? So you can actually use, like, the Halo armors, like the jetpack, the armor lock, the active camo in those classic Halo 1 and 2 levels. So, I'm telling you guys right now, if you guys are Halo fans, you know, if you love the series for any reason, definitely pick up Halo Combat Evolved, the Anniversary Edition, because, like I said, it's a must-buy, and it's just great to have.
Okay, so those are all my games that I recently picked up. I do have some more games, but these are kind of like a theme game, so I'm going to group them all together. So the first game I picked up is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, the gold cartridge.
The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is one of those games that have pure nostalgia for me. When I first got my Nintendo 64, I had the limited edition gold system that came with Ocarina of Time, the gold cartridge. I don't have that system anymore, and I recently just got back the gold cartridge off eBay. Now, the story of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is my favorite Zelda story out of the entire franchise, making this game my favorite Zelda game of all time. And this game is the first Legend of Zelda game to truly master the 3D environment of the Nintendo 64, in my opinion. The controls are spot on. The weapons in this game are totally awesome. The fact that you get to run around and just explore the world is simply amazing. And one of the best features of this game is simply the music. This whole game revolves around music. The soundtrack is amazing, and recently this game was ported to the 3DS, and it does a good job on the 3DS, but nothing will beat the original Ocarina of Time, just because it has pure nostalgic for me, because I once had this game, and now I recently got this game again as the Ocarina of Time, the limited edition gold cartridge.
Okay, the next Legend of Zelda game that I picked up is the Legend of Zelda, the Spirit Tracks for the Nintendo DS.
The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks is actually the last Zelda game I needed for the DS to complete my collection. And if you guys have ever played the Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass, this is kind of like the same thing, where you actually control Link by the stylus alone. You don't use the D-pad in any way except for to bring up items from your item screen. Now, if you guys have noticed already, this has the same kind of like art style or graphics as Wind Waker and, as I mentioned before, Phantom Hourglass. And to my knowledge, this is the only game in the Legend of Zelda series that you actually get to play with Zelda, kind of like this little co-op feature, but you don't actually play with Zelda. She's kind of like a ghost in this game, and when you're with her, she dons this heavy suit of armor that you could use to help you get through the different dungeons throughout the game.
Okay, the next game I picked up, it actually came with the kind of like link cable for the Game Boy Advance, and this is the Legend of Zelda Four Swords Adventure for the GameCube.
The Legend of Zelda Four Swords Adventure, this is what I call kind of like the Mario Party of Zelda games, where you and 3 other people can join together to take on the persona of 4 different links. So, basically what this is like, just like I said, you have 4 different links that you and 3 friends can go on this grand adventure with. And now, back in the day, if you had a Game Boy Advance, you could actually hook up your Game Boy Advance to your GameCube and, use it that way. You could kind of use it as like a controller, and then when you entered like caves or houses or, any sort of like structure building, you actually get to use your Game Boy Advance. It's kind of like to, as you can see here, like you kind of get to like see what's inside that house or cave, etc. And then when you leave, you obviously, you go back to the TV screen for the overworld. But like I said, this is more like a party game, where you just grab 3 of your friends and go on this grand adventure. If you're into like the Legend of Zelda, which a lot of people are. So, do I recommend this game? I do, but I would only recommend it if you have 3 friends to play with. Otherwise, I would probably recommend the Four Swords Adventure that recently just came out for the 3DS and the DSiWare. So, but yeah, this is a really good game.
Alright, the next GameCube game I got up, and also the next Legend of Zelda game, is the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess for the Nintendo GameCube.
Now, the first game I ever played and beat for the Wii was the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. But this is the GameCube version, and from what I know, there's not that much difference except for which hand Link holds his sword in. But the graphical style in this game is simply amazing to me. I like that this game has like more of a darker tone than any other of these Zelda games. Just like any other Zelda game, you got the traditional dungeons and all the different weapons, and all that's great, but I really appreciate the darker tone of this game. Now, just like, you always play with Link, but Link in this game transforms into a wolf, which is something new to this game, and it's not really ever been done before in any other Legend of Zelda game that I know of. But, I highly recommend this game, especially if you love Legend of Zelda, just because of the pure graphical style. I don't know which version I recommend more, either the GameCube or the Wii version, but I would have to probably say the Wii version just because it has the motion controls. So, but like I said, I highly recommend Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. It's a great game, and it's a must-have either for the GameCube or the Nintendo Wii.
Alright, the next game I got here is very recent, and I got the collector's edition of this game. This is the Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, and this did come with the 25th anniversary soundtrack and the limited edition Legend of Zelda Wii Remote with the Wii Motion Plus.
Zelda the Skyward Sword definitely deserves to be the true prequel to the Ocarina of Time, because this is an amazing game. I recently just picked this up and beat it. It took about 35 hours to beat, and I loved every single minute of this game. Now, this game features the Wii Motion Plus controls, and it's required to play this game, and it works very well in this game, to the point where, like, if you raise your sword, or your Wii remote in this case, straight up in the air, Link will do the same thing. So it works really well. But I would have to say right now that that's kind of like the downfall of this game is the Wii Motion Plus as well, because especially during the first temple, when I had to fight the boss, my arm was getting extremely tired while fighting the first boss, and a lot of people have mentioned that they kind of prefer maybe like the option to use like the Wii Classic controller, or another method of playing the game, which I can understand. But like I said, the Wii Motion Plus works for this game, and I wouldn't see it any other way if you made it with the Classic controller. Now, this game is beautiful. It kind of has like this cartoony art style, which really adds to the game, really works. What made this game for me is the characters themselves, the way they express their emotions, the facial expressions, just brought these characters to life. So I highly recommend Legend of Zelda the Skyward Sword. It's an amazing game, and with this game, I actually completed my entire Legend of Zelda collection for the North American release.
Okay, the next item I got is actually a real art book, and this is The Art of Alice Madness Returns. This is a really cool game, you guys. I got this for the Xbox 360, but the art in this book is simply amazing. It wasn't that expensive either. It was only about $10 on Amazon, but the art in this book is simply awesome. I love it. I hope you guys can see well, but yeah, I simply love this book. It's a great art book, one of the best art books I own for any video game. So yeah, that's the art book for Alice Madness Returns. Okay guys, so that's all my pickups for the month of November. Video games, art books, strategy guides, and all that wonderful stuff. But so let's get into the rant results. And if you guys have watched my video, I picked up Megaman Network Transmission for the GameCube.
For those of you who have seen my recent kind of like nearly mint rant video, know that I picked up this game. This is Megaman Network Transmission, and I actually had to buy 2 copies of this game because my first copy that I received was chewed all to hell. It had dog marks on it, stickers all over it, scratches on the discs. But I don't want to get into that. I just want to tell you about this game. This is Megaman Network Transmission, as I already said, and you play as Mega Man in this game, and it's based on the Mega Man Battle Network games that were on the Game Boy Advance. Now, instead of being a kind of like an action RPG that the Game Boy Advance games were, this is more of like an action platforming game where you have to battle the evil robot masters. But in this game, they're called Net Navies, but they're still called the same thing. You still fight Fireman, Iceman, and new characters such as Magic Man and Color Man. Now, I don't really recommend. I do recommend this for Mega Man fans, but for the general public, this is kind of like one of the weaker games in the entire Mega Man franchise. So, I would only recommend this if you're a Mega Man fan. If you're not a Mega Man fan, or you didn't like the Battle Network games at all, you might want to pass on this one, because otherwise it's just going to waste your time.
Now, if you guys seen that video, the box was all chewed up, it had scratch marks, all that wonderful stuff. Not wonderful stuff, because it was actually disgusting. This right here, I actually went on Amazon and rebought this game, actually cheaper than what I paid on eBay. I paid on $6 on eBay for that copy. Got this one for about $5 on Amazon. But you want to get into the rates? I just got an email from the guy yesterday, from the seller that I bought eBay from, and this is what he wrote to me. He wrote, "I am sorry you broke your item." Lie. That is something you need to deal with yourself, and be sure not to do it next time. Thank you for your purchase and happy holidays. Are you serious? I'm sorry, you guys, that's total bullshit. If you guys seen my video, you guys saw the condition on that game. I popped it in my Nintendo Wii, it didn't work. I popped it into my Nintendo GameCube, it didn't work. So, when I received the crappy version of this game, it was broken on delivery. It didn't work, it was defective. And this guy sends me an email saying, "I'm sorry you broke your item." Okay, that's a complete lie. And then he writes, "That is something you need to deal with yourself," which is saying he's taking no responsibility for the item being damaged. And then he says, be sure not to do it next time." Like, dude, you're like talking to me like I'm a child. You know, like I'm close to, actually I don't want to say my age, but like I'm up there. I'm kind of old, I guess. But you know, I'm not a child for any reason. But and then he says, "Thank you for your purchase and happy holidays." Well, to that guy, screw you, dude. Seriously, you sold me a defective item. It doesn't work, and then you turn around and you blame me for breaking my own item. No, that's wrong. So, but that's the kind of like the result or the reply I got back from the seller. I'm still battling with him. This case is still open on eBay, but I'm kind of at the point, like, I got this copy from Amazon.com. It worked great. You know, I'm happy with this item. I no longer have the defective item because I threw it away. But, you know, I'm at this point, I'm kind of like going to just say, let it go. You know, whatever. It's not a hassle. But, the fact that this guy wrote this email to me is pure BS, and I don't know, you know, I honestly don't know what to say about it, so. Okay, guys, that's it. That's all my pickups for 2011. That is the result from my rant video, blah, blah, blah. I'm not happy with the results of the rant video, but I'm going to let it go. No big deal, whatever. It was only $6. It's not worth the hassle, so I'm just going to end this video saying, I'm Quick Freeze from Quick Freeze's Game Room, and I'm here to bring gamers together, one game at a time.